I'm gonna explain a bit how I'm doing it. Bear with me for my English, and just want to say that I'm not a professional fabricator. I do this as a hobby. As you might know, I boosted my L61 myself. I'm tuning it myself. Yeah, well, I always wanted to have an all-wheel drive Cavalier. It's a big shame that GM did not redo this model, or just have done it with an all-wheel drive option, as for a sport compact model. So yeah, how I'm doing it. Essentially, this is a cross-wheel drive, a Saab cross-wheel drive 9.3 drivetrain. What you see here is the OEM Saab 9.3 cross-wheel drive rear subframe. I didn't do a video on the front yet, but I will be doing it. But essentially, it's a bit more simple than the rear, because everything is kind of bolt-on, except for the custom mounts for the transmission. But anyway, I'll be doing a video on this later. So yeah, the rear is essentially a cross-wheel drive subframe. It will be a cross-wheel drive rear differential that goes right here. You can see the bolts here and the bushings. Nothing of this is mounted yet, but well. So how I'm doing it now? I just got the alignment dialed in. Well, I think I put a pierced and tapped flat bar on the rear mountings, and yeah, I'm just aligning it with this flat bar. I'm assuming that this flat bar is not bent, so the alignment will be correct. I'm basing all my measurement on this flat bar and where I mounted it. You can see here, I just put the flat bar on the frame, and I bolted the OEM bolt in the flat bar that I tapped with the right threads. Well, this is the only part that is quote me easy, because the mounting seems to be just as flat as the Cavalier frame, so it's easy. I just have to align this flat bar and tack weld it on the frame, and I'll do the solidifying later. But it's the part that is easy, quote me. The part that is not really easy will be the front mountings of the rear subframe. You can see here there is a mounting here, and as you can see, it's not touching the frame at all. So what I'll be doing is I'll be cutting some metal sheet. Sorry, I'll be cutting some metal sheet, and I'll be trying to weld and shape some frame mountings with a piece of the flat bar that I will tap, so I can bolt here, and there will be another piece of flat bar here with tap and threads, and it will just bolt on it like in the rear, as I showed you. So this part is not easy, but if you have patience and skills, it's essentially just sheet metal that you have to cut with the right shape and just weld it right and ensure it's solid. Well, that's about it. The other part that is really not simple will be the swing arm. As you can see, this suspension is an original OE suspension system from the Saab 93 cross-wheel drive, but kind of every independent suspension have swing arms. I could say trailing arms, I guess. You can see here was the OEM place where the trailing arm were bolted. The Saab have a trailing arm. Let me get it. You can see here there are some bolts, and it needs to be bolted right there. Let me get the light. Okay, you can see here, right here. Wait, I'm just going to try and make it stay there. Okay. So as you can see, there are bolts here, and this is the OEM Saab trailing arms. And as you can see here, it's not near the OEM place to bolt the trailing arm, and the width of the bushing is not near to be the same as the swing arm of the Cavalier. So what I'll have to do is kind of cut out these trailing arm brackets from the OEM Cavalier frame, and I'll try to reuse those parts here, so I can just mount them on the Saab trailing arm. And I'll have to move it a bit forward, and I might have to align it sideways like that. I don't know exactly where it will be mounted, but this is another project. I don't care about this right now because I have a lot of things to do with the subframe bushing. Subframe, wait a bit. Yes, right there, subframe mountings. So I'll be doing this in the second part. Yeah, nothing as great as a good fire in the garage. And working on an eternal project, I can say. Yeah. So explaining something. Wait for me, I'm gonna try and catch the light. Okay, so remember I spoke about the front mountings of the rear subframe. You can see one here, right there. I'll be using, like I said, the same material that I used for the flat bar that I used to align the rear mounting of the subframe. So I cut some pieces out of it, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to drill and tap them, and I'm going to bolt the OEM bolts on them here, and that will be the start from where I will be fabricating the mountings that will be welded on the frame here on the Cavalier. So let me drill them and tap them. To tap those the holes I will do on those plates, you gotta, as you know, you gotta have the right. I don't know how to call this in English. Sorry, but you have to have the right size. Oh, the drill bit. That's it. Yeah. Sorry for this. So. The OEM bolts that will be bolting on these threaded holes is M12 by 1.775, I think. Yeah, M12 175. So if I refer from the chart I have for the tap, I have to have a 10.5 millimeter drill bit. Well, the best I could find was 10.31. It seems close enough to 10.5, so I'll be drilling this size, and after that I'll be tapping. So let's do this. Well, I'm not a pro, but here's a little pro tip when you're trying to drill and tap with bigger size like these. I mean, it worked for smaller size too, but it's easier when you have to drill bigger size. The thing that you can do that I almost forgot is you can use these kind of bits, of drill bits, to pre-pierce the hole, so that way it will be easier for the drill bit to align in the hole when you want to have precision on your drilling. So we'll be pre-drilling until we reach the bigger size of the pre-drill bit. After that, we'll be obviously drilling with the right size we want. And before tapping, it's always a good thing when you don't have the right size, but you have something that is close still. Like me, I have a 10.3 millimeter drill bit, and I'm supposed to have a 10.5 millimeter drill bit. So it's always a good thing to use that kind of tool. I don't know if you see it right. The only thing that we will do is put it in the hole, and it will kind of do like a pipe shape on the beginning of the hole, and it will just help the tap to align itself on the in the hole, and not have a tapping that is the wrong angle. You want it to be as straight as possible. So this is what we will be using. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not a pro, but these are the kind of things that my brother taught me. He's a mechanical engineer, and we do a lot of customization and projects like these together. And this is the kind of thing that have helped us a lot in our fabrication. So. Well guys, it's already the end of this video, but I'll just give you a little sneak peek of what is coming in the next videos. I'll try to be as detailed as possible. Don't forget that I'll be doing a video on the front since it's already done. I'll be just explaining how I've done it and what parts I am using, and I'll be doing the same for the rear. I just explain you about how and what I'm using for the subframe and the suspension setup. I didn't mention anything about the springs and shocks. This will be in the next video. Little sneak peek here. Here's the diff. Here are the rear axles. I'll be doing a lot of great things, and here's a sneak peek of where I am. I already drilled and tapped the flat bar I use for the mount seats. There's a couple piece of sheet metals I just drafted for the mountings. This is not tack welded yet, and it's not the final version. I'm just trying some things, and I just want to have it mounted and tack welded to see if my wheel alignment is alright, and I won't be going sideways or rubbing too much the fenders. About the fenders, ooh, there's a little rust here. Didn't saw that. Damn. Yeah, about the fenders, the wheel width is a bit more than the stock G-body, so I'll probably have to roll my fenders. It will have a nice stance though. Will be cool. And since I'm running the NWF swap in the front, this will be about the exact or similar size or similar width of wheels from the front and the rear, so it will be cool. Well, we'll see when it's finished. I didn't measure that yet, but I know it's wider than the J body. Why the front is wider is because I use the longer control arms from the I think is the F body. Well, I'm not sure the control arm if it was from the end W or the F, but well, on the forum there's a how-to and there's a way to do it by using longer control arms, and I didn't have choice because the axles are Saab's front axles and they are longer, so I needed an extra length so the joints are not knocking inside of them. So about the rear, yeah. So I sneak peeked a little what I will be doing next time I'm working on it. It's going forward, guys, but not as fast as I would like. But I need to get this stack welded, and it will go a bit faster after that. So thanks for watching if you're watching. That's a cool project, and I'm proud of doing it. So yeah, see you next time.